game plan with a pretty consistent forward with some solid wave clear.
And I do really like Rek'Sai for topside domination. Rek'Sai can go over the back of that large wall behind the top laner, come from behind your own turret even. Rek'Sai also can dive with the ultimate. Once you're level 6, you can drop tower aggro. So there are just more options with hard forcing. If you are telling your enemies that you're going to camp topside, at least you have more options to hard force it. And kind of deny solo options for outplaying there if they decide to, once again, just exchange sides of the map.
And you can see TSM as well, kind of learning a lot of their lessons from the previous game. 3 bans on champions that were picked in the previous game. The Kindred from Rush, the Varus of Apollo, and the Aatrox of Soloist. We still do not see the Echo Fox top lane picked just yet. They get one final ban, as TSM will almost certainly wait for top lane last.
Yeah, you got to think they're saving the counter pick for Broken Blade. Meanwhile, we kind of gloss over the fact Fenix gets a counter pick for the mid lane with the Corki into Lissandra. Scales super well with the damage output and can handle that lane quite effectively.
And Echo Fox concerned that Kayle would counter pick what Echo Fox want to bring out for their own top lane here. That's interesting. So that we haven't seen her picked yet, she has dropped off the table. Echo Fox Academy has played her a fair bit. Vladimir has been a good pick for solo. That was the ban that was left up on the table and has now been claimed by Broken Blade.
Yeah, it's making me think Echo Fox are going to have a melee champion on the top side. I mean, it makes sense since they have Corki in mid lane already. So you're going to have 2 range damage dealers on your team with no CC that they're bringing to the fight. So it pigeonholes Solo into playing something on the top side of the map that will bring some sort of structure to the team fight.
Of course, if this game is going to be topside focused, cho'gath going to come through basically invincible to Vladimir. That silence very good against him, I would say. So this feels he can still be dope. And that 3v1 is a kill, but
it does fill your role of your tanky melee champion that brings CC to the team. So also fulfills the team-wide aspect there. Definitely can't get dove by a Rek'Sai Vladimir, though, as both of those can juggle tower aggro very effectively. All right, backline power for Apollo here. And talk about the range scaling damage. These are 2 of the best in role.
And this is part of what brought Echo Fox that 4, now 5-game winning streak at the end of the spring split. Here was Jinx games on Apollo. He popped off in the end game. Fenix, a very good Corki as well. We're seeing cleanse covered on both those marksmen to survive the backline access. But TSM can now choose to go topside or bottom side with this one. Kalista Galio is very aggressive.
This is the swap I was talking about in game number 1 champion select. Zven going to one of his other most played champions, the Kalista. He dominated with Origin. And with combination with Galio, the CC is insane. Being able to save Galio when Galio is going for initiations throughout the team fights, or being able to put Galio in, even in the 2v2s down on bottom side. You can see plenty of 2v2 kills coming through. The Galio usually taking the Ignite. Smoothie should stick on it here. This really completely changes the bottom lane. Last time, it was kind of a sleeper of a bottom lane there where both teams were farming out, and Echo Fox got a very good push taking the early turret. This time around, there's a lot more fight.
A lot more fight in this one. It's another game, though, of looks like 3 teleports to 1, where that overall map mobility could be a big deal for TSM. All their major carry threats have it. Akaadian now on the Rek'Sai should be a very good early jungler. The coaches shake hands. Zix's first split with TSM. He's made playoffs, got 3rd seed. Hoping to do good work here as Echo Fox, though. And those 3 core members hoping to do what they did last year and take down TSM in quarterfinals.
Yeah, Apollo saying they remember. I'm quite sure that they do. And they've got something to say about it here. Game number 1 went the way of Echo Fox. Let's see if TSM will answer back.
The fans are ready, the players are ready. I feel like TSM's bot lane is already pretty good, but we'll see. Into this series we go. 1-0 Echo Fox. And TSM need to answer back before too long. We are on to the Rift for game 2.
And I think that's a really apt line, even just in this game. Because Echo Fox do have a lot of power that they can bring towards the late game. If Jinx and Corki can get, crit multipliers going, that is a tremendous damage output. With cho'gath, one of the highest health scaling champions in the game on the front side, and Rush does have the option to go either Warrior or full tank Cinder Hulk Jarvan. I think with this setup, I would opt for the Cinder Hulk full tank because you have, again, plenty of damage for team fights later on.
Yeah, I also see that you have a couple of tanks already and don't need to be the hard frontliner, but I agree that just simply tanking for Corki Jinx is a good way to win team fights. So let's see what it comes down to. Depends how the game goes. By the way, Conqueror Jarvan. I feel like that's not the most common build, but maybe I'm out of touch.
A lot of people try and Conqueror on a lot of different junglers. I still don't think Conqueror has taken over the most common rune usage, but it does also, to me, signal another option for building full tank because you have longer to get off and proc your Conqueror procs. Right. So I'm thinking Rush may be going that way. However, if you want to get that warrior, you want to get some early kills onto Rek'Sai and control Rek'Sai that way.
Yeah, if it's the way to duel and get
you will have, yeah, warrior is better dueling. The cooldown reduction is also a really underestimated part of the early warrior power spike. So it's an option. But I think especially with the Conqueror, you might want to go for a little bit more longevity.
All right, both mid laners dropping 1 CS in the first wave. Because Akaadian's going to take down these chickens without much of an issue. Fenix could have gone for a lucky Q over the wall, but that would have been a blind guess. And doesn't happen there as he trades with Bjergsen. Next minion's level 2. And we'll see if any more pressure happens. Last game, Fenix, I would say, did actually win bot lane. Look at that. That's really smart by TSM. The early aggressive ward in that tri-brush. They know Jarvan is a very common level 2 ganking champion.
And the big difference this time around, they're playing the Kalista Galio. Much more aggressive lane, so they want to be able to push up. So they do put the ward down here this time around to see Rush.
And of course, Rush is in full vision of everything right now. We know Rek'Sai did red to Raptors, but Rush is going to go for the blue buff steal, and that should be pretty safe. No one's moving around. TSM could have come around if they wanted to with their bottom lane, but with Akaadian spotted on that ward, looks like everyone's going to be safe.
Let's see, because trading sides of the map like this can be very detrimental if your solo lanes are both losing and getting pushed in because you can get collapsed upon. It's not going to be the case here as both junglers are going to be unharassed for the moment, and it should be what people refer to as vertical jungling, where you just do the enemy blue side after your red instead of going to your own. And
of course, you mentioned the solo laners making it difficult for the Echo Fox side. Of course, their duo lane looks pretty good down here. It's Kalista braum having to play safe against, or sorry, Kalista Galio having to play safe against the Jinx here because they know Jarvan could be around, is unspotted, and could turn around any kind of gank. Lose the recall. There we go. Wolf turns around. Similar camps, of course, taken away by the Rek'Sai, as Akaadian has, I don't believe, taken the full Wolf camp yet. I'm not certain. Thank you, observers. Okay, yes.
They both left one small Wolf to delay the respawn here.
So very similar counter jungling being done by both these teams.
Yeah, respawning of jungle camps, they do come back with more experience. So you want to delay it as long as possible. A small Wolf not worth too much.
Yeah. Now, of course, Rush didn't take his full Krug camp, as now Rek'Sai and Akaadian's going to have the chance to do the same here and actually get all of the golden XP. So that will be a small momentary lead for the Rek'Sai, but look at this Rush. Okay, sees his camps are gone. Doesn't go for the top lane gank. Could have flag and dragged over the wall, but there's already a ward to watch that in the brush, so no pressure top side. It's going to be the farm off. Small lead to Vladimir, but not gigantic. And now a fight towards the mid lane. Bjergsen, with the last vestige of the mana pool, claws away and can TP back to lane.
Yep, he's going to be able to refill pretty easily after that. There wasn't really much of an investment for Rush for going for that, even though they didn't have a huge chance of burning a summoner. He's pathing back down to the bottom side anyway because his Raptors and Krugs are available. Yep. So you don't really give much away, considering there's not many other spots that you can be. So it's not even a big information change.
And as Fenix walks back to lane, of course, he doesn't have TP. He's got to take the long way back in. Not a very big mana pool. Rushes to get back just to get the XP and gold in time. Double starting items picked up. He's going to have plenty of sustain down there as the invade comes in. Scryer's Bloom spots Rush, I believe.
Yeah, and you saw there a couple of question mark pings going down for a possible movement as they're able to deduce that's the only corner of the map that he can be in right now. Little roam there from Bjergsen to try and help control this vision around the bottom side as well, since TSM want to have aggression with the Kalista Galio. Rush is actually going to go in, get spotted by the control ward, can't finish it off.
So off he goes, pushed away by Akaadian, level 4 to level 5. If you wait too long to flag and drag, you can, on reaction, get the knock. I'm actually going to find it right now. Smite's on. Rush forced to flash away as Galio is closer. And that is the first summoner of the game lost now as Echo Fox going to do some damage back in the mid side. Actually, Bjergsen taking the worst of this trade by a lot. Plenty of bonus attack damage for Fenix with those items. Feels pretty good about that fight.
Yeah, and Fenix also has an extra charge in his corrupting potion to chug. right now they see Rush completely. Not only did Bjergsen have the deep ward, but Akaadian's around here on Rek'Sai with passive pings going down.
Okay, so a much closer game. This time TSM
Going for it.
the lead. He's going to pull her over the wall, look for Rush, not in range to stop the EQ. That was a close one. And even still a level behind, Rush unwilling to take that fight.
All right, a lot of attention here around the mid lane. Control wards for TSM are paying off. Fenix is still extended.
Goes the play, finds the ult, burns the cleanse, flash knock, and they've got the burst damage. 2 games in a row. First blood to TSM.
And TSM patience around mid lane pays off. Bjergsen's auto attack finishes the last little bit of damage, and they're able to take down Fenix.
2 in a row, Akaadian gets that kill right off the bat. The claw forward, the stun. Cleanse not enough.
Yep, they are tracking summoners here. Goes for the W into cleanse. Immediately answer there from Akaadian. Good job to stun him with the knockup outside of tower range there so they don't drop extra health because it could have been a Jarvan collapse. They knew that Jarvan was on the bottom side. If you take too long or you take too much damage from the turret, there can be repercussions for that. So by Fenix not immediately flashing or cleansing and then flashing afterwards, TSM are able to knock him up just outside of tower range and then finish off the kill without too much danger to themselves.
Speaking of danger, I'm looking at the bottom lane right now. As some more attack damages come through, BF Sword definitely a power spike for Apollo, but Boots, plus the extra weapons here, Zven can definitely start to engage. Level 6s are coming very, very soon.
Yeah.
They're both about 5.25 down here in the bottom lane, so that's not going to be too long away from those hard engages. And we know we can, we'll easily have Lissandra ult back by the time we have access to Galio and Kalista, so that bot lane dive could absolutely happen here against Apollo and Hakuho.
Yeah, for people who don't play a lot of Kalista, the boots definitely feel super good for your passive and lane upgrade as well. Plus sustain down there. Let's see if the control ward was placed not only in the tri-brush down there, but also in the back of the dragon pit. So you can tell they're very worried about this mid lane jungle combo. Lissandra Rek'Sai already capitalizing for a kill, and TSM are really switching objectives this time around. They've left Broken Blade on himself on the top side of the map, and Akaadian is focusing down around the dragon.
The Rift Scuttle is taken, and with Kalista level 6, Smoothie can feel completely safe going almost anywhere as long as he's within a screen of Zven. Kills another control ward. Akaadian's going to knock down the one that EchoFox put in there, and this bot river is completely controlled for TSM.
These are the necessary small adjustments within best of 5 series that you look for. Playoffs is a completely different animal here. TSM's strategy last time around did not gain anything really for them. And this time around, let's see if they actually have the fight. Level 6s are available.
Ults all over the place right here. Akaadian is flashless, the same for Rush. As the dragon resets, and Rush going to be able to kill a control ward. Looks like bot lane will be pushed first by the EchoFox side thanks to Jinx rockets.
Yeah, super high value there. Fenix was a bit closer to the mid lane wave as well than Bjergsen was, and he's got package. So whenever Corki has package, you gain complete control of mid lane priority. Lissandra was coming back from base, so no TSM member wants to extend. It's a good job by EchoFox using that window of power to gain control ward kills, because every control ward kill here around this early Ocean Drake is so important. Oh, he's not going to take that claw.
Yeah, certainly relevant though. Keep in mind, this is still an 800 gold lead to TSM, which is above and beyond what that first blood with assist is worth. So they are still winning this early game across the board.
By the way, Corki can use reactively the package when you see an engagement like that coming. So if Lissandra goes for that and you try to expend the ult or something, then you can use the package, even though he didn't have his summoners back up.
Yep.
So they're not going to kind of waste anything trying to go for that one. But because they both go to hand off the blue buff, leaves Dragon open.
Hakuho spots them. They can come back down. This cho'gath sitting in the river. We've got
a lot of damage.
The rest of the squad coming around. Akaadian down to half HP. Slow by the Ocean Drake. This could be a fight. The TSM might not want to win. Jinx clears the way first. Now coming right back in. They're going to pile in for this one. TPs are available. No ult for the one side. Diving in towards the back. Looking for the first kill. They've got Rush already. 1 for 0 in that fight. Now looking for the re-engage in the front line towards the braum. Onto that shield. Exhaust on Zven, but can still chase Apollo. Rooted in place. Gets the rend and knocks down Hakuho. 2-0 TSM.
TSM going to finish off the dragon as well. Akaadian swoops back around, finishes off the smite. EchoFox were split 2 on each side in this engagement. I thought that Fenix might be able to put out a bit more damage and kill off junglers 1 for 1 in the exchange, but they don't get Akaadian down there, and that means TSM big winners in this exchange. Let's see. So Rush is going in. He knows he's going to face check this, right? He's built the Cinderhulk. Right now, Fenix trying to dump out the damage. I don't think that Q actually hit on Akaadian. So maybe that was it, but
And the Triumph Heal was enough.
he's not able to finish him off. Triumph Heal coming in very big. And then as you know, Kalista early game, still super good at chasing people down, and Zven dead on with that spear.
And that's a really nice mechanic by Zven right there. The actual cast range of Rend is shorter than the max damage range, so with the Q in the air, pops from it before he runs away, it will still Rend when the Q lands as well, so all of it added together. Press the buttons in the right order, beautiful stuff, and it's now a solid 2,000 gold lead for TSM, plus that Ocean Drake makes landing even better.
Definitely a completely different story from game number 1. TSM bot side focus. Echo Fox also trying to contest down here. And this one definitely going to set them behind. They still have the out though, right? Jinx is farming him up quite nicely on the bottom side. Fenix still, even though the Death has a lot of CS here in the mid lane on Corki, working towards the Trinity Force as a Cole with 34 minion kills left to pop. And kind of the game plan there for Echo Fox is to try and stem the bleeding, stop the bleeding, not give up too much here while they get some more damage multipliers on their 2 big carries.
The only big concern is, you speak of big carries, Vladimir is scary in the late game. We got Smoothie in the front line getting slowed down, but not stunned, as Apollo simply takes the farm and they fight for wards back and forth. But as an AD carry, as Jinx, who doesn't have any self-peel, Vladimir can one-shot you if allowed to free farm, and well, plenty of CS, that can always be a ticking time bomb in the late game.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things to look out for, especially as a Jarvan player here for Rush, who is going full Cinder Hulk, try and get your Cataclysm onto a Vladimir. The only way you can get out of that is...
Oh, that was nice. Perfectly timed knockup, forced the ult out of Rush, but now it's the ult to follow in. Here comes Galio, and Rush is going to be right down. A blast plan to get away, but TSM are 4-0 in game 2.
That was indeed Akaadian smurfing. Very clean interactions with Rek'Sai. Goes in, is able to knock up, interrupt the EQ from Jarvan, finishes off the kill with his ultimate following over after the flash. Smoothie is there for the timing window on Galio. Ultimate. Man, that was actually just incredibly clean for TSM. Bottom side domination will be rewarded with some extra turret plates on top.
Looks like that Kindred ban did a lot to make the jungle look better. Though Akaadian got the ganks off in the first game, he was getting out farmed. This time, not the same. Look at that fight again. Down a level, sorry, up a level, but crushes them.
All right, and this is a guy right there, goes in, able to get the unburrow right after, has Conqueror procced, gets the ultimate in, red smite down, Galio's backing him up. This Akaadian came onto this team because Grig had an injury, and he was told all of a sudden, all right, you're going to be scrimming with the main team now. People were definitely cautious about what this was going to look like, but he has really brought a new look to TSM, and people are really enjoying this year.
Now, the meme with TSM was always Bjergsen and a bunch of wards, but Akaadian's been an aggressive jungler, and he's looked, I would say, overall fairly good on TSM here. Looking now as he wants to take away the Scuttle, or sorry, the Herald, but
and
the Echo Fox are pushed away. Can they make this play happen now into the front line? Silence actually can't unburrow until the silence falls off. Now looking for the re-engage. Solo not long for the world. He's slowed. He's taking damage. Akaadian gonna find his second kill of the game.
And Solo has to pay the price for Echo Fox trying to start up this Rift Herald. TSM do collapse. They find the kill. Rek'Sai's 2 levels above Jarvan, and he's gonna squat on that egg.
Yep.
Does he see him? Oh, Rush not moving.
Okay, tags him anyway, though. Summarized it, had the sweeper help, and that's going to slowly tick down. Yeah, this very well. TSM get their revenge. No Herald picked up for you either, Echo Fox. They know it all too well.
All right. Echo Fox, they've got to play more defensively now. They try and sneak this objective on the backside, but they get caught with their hands in the cookie jar here. Blue Smite goes in, Solo slowed. Akaadian can still flash follow, so he didn't have to use his flash on the bottom side, just using the ultimate last time. And they're able to pick up this kill easily. Double solo laners collapsing. Echo Fox cannot overextend like that. They've got to just use their towers to try and farm up their carries. And delay till late. Farm till late is kind of a meme that people use, but it's definitely the right course of action.
It's the right course of action. Double Ocean Drake at this point is probably the tamest Drakes that there could be for TSM. Of course, they're still going to have map control. That gold lead of 2,000, certainly meaningful, but this doesn't quite feel out of reach just yet. Now keep in mind, in 5 minutes in the previous game, EpicSkillshot built a 5,000 gold lead. I expect TSM to probably play for Baron control themselves. Double Ocean makes it easy to stand in the pit. Kalista, despite Ren not being quite as good against epic monsters, she's still a very good champion against Baron herself. And looks like TSM will get first. Well, actually, not first turret. Keep in mind the first turret dropped bot lane already, but they get the answer down to that bottom lane. And they stretch the gold lead up to 3,000.
Yeah, actually, sneakily enough, once again, Apollo and Hakuho doing work on the enemy turret. And Apollo up to the Infinity Edge plus Zeal. They get a little bit easier chance finding those crits. Yeah. They still want some more scaling though. Again, Trinity Force now completed on Fenix. Yeah, level 11 coming in for the extra level for your rockets is also very big for the poke damage. So they are operational, you know, as a 5-on-5 squad right now. But they definitely still have a ways to go because TSM have a stronghold.
EpicSkillshot playing, of course, 3 tanks, as we've mentioned a couple times. It is Cinderhook for the Jarvan, playing in front of a couple of marksmen who are scaling pretty well, though they're not up in gold. It is TSM kind of around the world, just doing better. Now looking at top side, putting their advantageous marksmen.
Rush Q, he has no EQ
lane.
now.
They're going to knock down Rush, most likely. Galio shows in, perfectly timed knockup. Zven finds another kill, and it is still TSM grabbing more in this game despite losing a turret. It's otherwise nearly a perfect game. Another turret falls. Look at that lead, 3,500.
Looks like there were 2 different ideas about how to play that for EpicSkillshot. Rush stays up, tries to clear the minion wave with the Q. Solo's looking to back off there on cho'gath, walks away. Maybe a miscommunication as far as the call to give up turret, or try and clear the wave and stall it out, but it definitely does cost EpicSkillshot. Not only were they going to give up that turret, but they also lose a kill in the process.
And this game is starting to look like people's expectations of TSM versus EpicSkillshot coming into the weekend, where kind of around the world, TSM playing a lot better, Akaadian playing solidly aggressive, and Bjergsen doing very well roaming around in his mid lane role.
It really does kind of set the tone for the series, with a lot of importance being placed on early jungle presence. Last time around, Rush able to control so much with the bottom side focus. And this time around, completely swapped story here. Akaadian's Rek'Sai absolutely dominating.
0-3 Jarvan. Yeah, Fox did get the turret, but it was only with 1 plate taken earlier on. And now pressure once again to the mid lane. Demolish helps, puts that down to half HP, and TSM still looking to keep growing those leads. Baron's up in 2 minutes, the Drake in about 3. And nothing is really stopping TSM from taking what they want. Third outer turret shouldn't be too long away from going down. Honestly, a couple of waves most likely.
Yeah, mid lane focus here should be kind of inevitable. This Vladimir is already scaled very nicely. Broken Blade has not been on your screen nearly as much this game as last game, and yet he's far more effective here. Vladimir already with the Proto Belt, with a bit of cooldown reduction, almost to the Zhonya's, and even before completing it, still has his active stopwatch ready. So actually, Akaadian goes in.
And here's the TP going for the big play now onto the top side. There's nowhere for the bot lane to go. A cleanse and a flash. He's running, but he's rooted in place yet again. They've got the chase down. They're going to find this kill. Akaadian finds his 3rd killing spree as Hakuho drops as well. Phoenix might not want to be here as TSM are now 8-0 in kills.
TSM collapse again. Teleport comes through from Bjergsen, and they have complete control. EpicSkillshot trying to lick their wounds right now. Every time you step out away from turrets looking for farm, it's dangerous.
Smoothie was close to stopping that one, and TSM now having, earlier in the game, a gold lead what it took EpicSkillshot of Baron to do. TSM just with kills, just with roaming around the map. Akaadian doing so much of the legwork, 3-0-3. He's been a part of almost all of them. TSM now smashing this one in the early game. They are in complete control, and they will likely retain it through the rest of this game.
All right, tower taking some damage, but not going down. And TSM are resetting here. Bjergsen's going for the recall. Fenix does have the package, so that's why he's playing super aggressively right now. As we talked about earlier, you can reactively use the package, go unstoppable. It's your get out of jail free card. Even though Zven did use the ultimate there, it's now level 11 Kalista, so cooldown's much shorter.
As that TP play, 4 versus 2 up here, no chance for EpicSkillshot.
Once again, Bjergsen on this Lissandra finds a teleport flank. Is going to be able to secure 2 kills for the team. He flashed in there early on. Got both summoners out of Apollo.
Yeah, which, to be honest, might be a bit of a misplay because now he's summonerless for the Baron fight that's coming up. You know TSM is almost certainly going to play for vision around that, and he is so easy to pick off now by a Lissandra dive.
Yeah, I can see his reasoning and go for it. He's like, oh, Lissandra just flashed at me, so there won't be a flash follow, but the slow is on him.
And that was actually just Claw. Like, he has flash Bjergsen, so Yeah, the follow can still be there.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just cho'gath in the range. Like the TP flank was all it really took.
I can't see the reasoning then.
Yeah, I think it's a little too aggressive. Unfortunately, like a Fox falling away pretty rapidly here. It's solos farming off against a Vlad, but with how much gold TSM have, that Kalista will cut down that cho'gath for sure in a team fight. Quick Cloud Drake picked up, only takes 2 in a single control ward. Baron next.
As big of a lead as TSM have, the one caution to set up again is if you give a lot of this shutdown money over to Echo Fox, you can see almost everybody. Oh, the Vladimir's one just went away, but we've got 3 shutdowns here. It is a decent amount of gold. So a mistake from TSM that gives over a team fight kill, maybe a team wipe or something like that, would be the hope of Echo Fox to try and fund their Jinx Corki team fighting 5-on-5 monster. But barring that, barring a mistake from TSM, it looks very difficult here for Echo Fox to actually find that money and really make this comp operational.
Yeah, for now, TSM taking what's owed. Mid-outer turret falls. Echo Fox gives away the positioning on it. They find a slow, a little bit of damage. Will they go for the engage? Looks like that answer is no. Vladimir wasn't part of that fight, but they might need cho'gath to make it work. Save the control ward. That's something at least. TSM still playing around this pretty well. Apollo finds some damage. Zap's going to land. Is there an engage? They're going to might look towards Bjergsen. Protobot gets him out of range. And Rush didn't want to commit flash and ult just to trade a flash away.
Yeah, and especially with the Lissandra. Self-ult still available for Bjergsen. Possible collapses from the rest of the members of TSM. It's good to keep your eyes open for possible plays like that. And I like Echo Fox pushing it that far, but not overextending. That is a moment where earlier on in this split, we have seen, you know, Rush go in 1v5 and they overcommit to something like that and get punished for it. A little bit of restraint this time around, though, even though they're super far behind. Yeah.
Well, restraint will serve Echo Fox if somehow they can keep this game from objectives bleeding. A 4,000, 5,000 gold deficit is something that is okay 35 minutes in. It's just backbreaking at 22. And TSM right now going to lose momentary control of the Baron Pit. Echo Fox able to walk in for a couple of wards. Now they're afraid of what Smoothie might do, and they don't kill the control wards, so TSM can easily take those wards back out.
Yeah, definitely a very dangerous road here for Echo Fox, and it's getting darker by the moment. TSM trying to clear out this vision. Smoothie, the possible target, but again, they don't have any vision deep in TSM's side. If we toggle the Fog of War, they really hadn't tracked a lot of the other members here, so it's hard to commit to one of these opportunities because you know that if the other members are there, then you get punished. Akaadian!
Get the flash out of him. Flash for ult onto braum. It's a rank 1 braum ulti, so a long cooldown there. Echo Fox will hope they can wait until that one comes back up. It's a pretty crucial teamfight ult to find that big stun, set up that Jinx. Speaking of her, she is still farming up, pretty close to her next Zeal. And that's just what they're waiting and waiting and waiting for as Zven is scaling up and still ahead in gold, of course. 1,500 gold separates the marksman.
Yeah.
And this is pretty much peak Kalista, honestly. This is one of her best spots in the game. So there is some pressure on TSM to play aggressively and close one out. They can easily do so, but that is there's a little pressure on them to do that.
Yeah, and I do think it comes around the Baron, you know, with keeping the map as dark as possible and forcing Echo Fox into the uncomfortable situation of having to expend flag, having to shoot out Jinx Rocket, you know, having to use everything at their disposal to try and check the Baron. They've got one Farsight ward that's available here for Jinx at the moment. Scuttle Crab still remaining here for a few more seconds there up around Baron, and that is giving them some comfort.
But that's when that falls, I think that signals the play, right? That's when TSM says, okay, their vision's gone, we're going to force the far side orb, and then round 2 is Baron.
And even that can be misleading sometimes. Never mind, they're just going to walk right over it.
Yep, they jumped over. I think the Blast Plant might have helped them with this one. The far side orb is indeed used, but now it's turned right back off, and Echo Fox must face check. Smoothie going to build some space. It's getting lower and lower. At what point will it be in smite range? Here comes the engage. Bjergsen on the far side, though, not going to find the stun. Now look at the re-engage. They already picked off one. TSM 2 for 0. Into the backline they go. Apollo forces a flash away and cannot find anything to do. So 2-0 and kill Smoothie. Not going to be traded back. A nice heal comes in. Zap not going to land either. And TSM able to turn right back into the Baron. So 3 versus 5. Health bars coming back up thanks to Ocean Drake. Looking for for that play. Smoothie's still a bit low, but Bjergsen on the wings, has the ult, has the flash. They're gonna go for the big play. They're gonna find the engage. Apollo is down. Looking for a little bit more now. Fenix is running solo, doing the same. Akaadian in the back line is shut down, but a single kill is all that they will get, as Solo can only run. He's got a blast cone and nothing else. TSM have map control and all the kills.
Yeah, Broken Blaze able to take, actually, I think he popped the blast cone for Solo there as he's on the way out. Solo, though, see if he gets away with this one.
He'll live if he wants to. TSM actually going to go for the reset, though. They're, well, actually, wow, yeah, he might get found out.
Oh, if he gets his recall off right here. Oh, it's teleport. He's out of there. So TSM do find a lot of kills there for themselves. Echo Fox do have a surviving cho'gath.
Yeah.
Surviving cho'gath means there's a chance at feasting a Baron, but a cho'gath without flash and with the blast cone blown means it's so hard for him to get in there. Here's another look at it. Smoothie just walks right up. Really good flash from him. Gets both squishy members with the taunt. They combo down Rush, stuck in there, and that takes out 2 members from Echo Fox, allowing them to reset up here on the Baron. Apollo, though, really threatening the reset here on Galio. If Jinx does get that with the red buff, it's a completely different game, so they have to be fairly careful about it. Then we see the turn. TSM make the call. Vladimir goes in, starts it off, gets a big AoE slow. Bjergsen follows it up with the ultimate there. And eventually do get the kill here onto Fenix. Big, actually, Feast going down to secure that one on Akaadian.
Yeah.
And allowed Echo Fox to get their counter.
So 700 gold to cho'gath was something, but he's, of course, not the primary carry. They'd have loved that on the Jinx instead. If she had it, she'd actually have a completed Shiv right now, or Rapid Fire Cannon.
Unfortunately, he was dead.
Yep, and no assists either. So now it's time for the next round. Double Cloud, double Ocean. They can sit in this pit forever and re-engage pretty easily. And once again, far side orb popped, and TSM ready for this turn. They've got most ults, not Galio. We've seen that one before, but this looks likely. Up onto Hakuho, decent damage. Ult's not gonna land. Here comes Package and Bjergsen zoned out. Can they find the play? Smoothie's gonna drop, but will they go for the Baron? The kills come through on a 1. A second one picked up now for the Jinx. This might be an Echo Fox team fight. Look out for Bjergsen, though. He's trying to find the stun. Look at Apollo. Drops down to Broken Blade. A double kill for the new top laner. Looking for a third. Solo gonna drop as well. And here's the chase down. Hakuho versus the world. And there is the red. TSM with the ace, and with 3 alive, they will claim the Baron.
Oh my goodness, it looked dicey at the beginning with all the lights turned off, but TSM find the ace, and they will find the Baron. This is going to be them pushing in before 30 minutes to take all these secondary turrets.
Will they wait 6 seconds for Akaadian to respawn? They might have to regardless, but it will be, looks like, all 5 buffs picked up. Yeah, at this point, you definitely wait. There's all 5 buffs. There's the pickup, and TSM gigantically ahead. They are certainly going to tie this series.
All right, let's take another look at this because it is a little bit dicey. At the beginning, there's a split call. TSM are keeping DPS on Baron because they got it so low, and Smoothie goes down in that time. However, Rush has to fully commit. He's fully caught on Jarvan. He goes down. Akaadian quickly follows as Echo Fox do get the focus, but Bjergsen and Broken Blades re-engage creates room for Zven's Kalista. They close the distance onto the backline. The Jinx and Corki, you have nothing to peel for them. They both go down at the same time. That is the crux of this composition. Those 2 damage dealers, without them, there's nothing left. And now TSM, all decked out in purple.
All decked out in purple, looking more swag than Echo Fox's jerseys. The 3v4 turnaround, your gold lead at work, and TSM ready to close the loop on this one. 9,000 gold ahead. Under 30 minutes. This looks pretty convincing now. 3 kills to 17. It's a large mountain to climb for the Echo Fox side. 3 items through on a Jinx. I actually like the Phantom Dancer here to try to survive what the Vladimir can do to the backline. Still going to be very difficult. Does have cleanse for Lissandra. Flash up probably for the next fight.
I would even recommend a similar upgrade for Fenix. He should get his Zeal into a Phantom Dancer here.
Yeah.
I mean, you want damage, you want the possibility of getting those big kills, but if you're getting dove by Lissandra Vladimir, you really need some defense. And it's not like, oh, just buy a Hex Drinker because there's a Rek'Sai here that's coming through with ultimates for execution, so.
Right, it's split. Oh, they find the knockup though from Rush on towards Bjergsen. Decent damage, still should have the self-ult, has the, not quite the flash, but either way, able to walk out. Top lane tier 2 is now gone, and will this be the re-engage Vlad? Bot lane against cho'gath. The front line not very tanky for Echo Fox's side. Fenix looks forward. Not going to find much poke. The waves will go down, but this turret's down about 1/3 HP, and the cannon minion still shooting away. There's the smite, there's the kill. Lead still 9,000. Vladimir able to be stopped. Solo just simply too tanky to be stopped here. Still building his tank stats. Stoneplate not far away. But TSM have backline access. They can bypass the cho'gath.
And you can see with the double Ocean Drakes too, Baron buff Siege is very easy. They just back up, everybody full heals, then they try and Baron empower these cannon minions again. A few more shots, and this tower really getting chunks.
Yeah, Rush Burn Q for wave clear, ease for the same, so they know there's no threat on their backliners. Bjergsen walks back into the lane.
Cannon just plugging away.
Plugging away, and Phoenix putting some shots in, but that turret very dangerously low. Finally drops, but Phoenix to half HP. Good shots in by Zven, and that's going to be the turret falling as well. They'll have to give up the inhibitor. They won't fight for it without the turret. I mean, they can put some shots in, but they can't really take the battle.
Yeah, bottom side also goes down at the same time here. Broken Blade also whittling away. TSM looking for the inhibitor next.
Maybe there's a chance at a play, but cho'gath is actually bot lane. He's actually still mirroring Vladimir as the bot inhib does go down. Top gonna follow. Double inhibitor's gone. TSM 10,000 ahead. Looking for the replay. Looking for the jump in. It's Solo trying to make it. The feast not enough because of redemption. Just barely. Smoothie from downtown saves it. Re-engaged on the top side, but right pulled back in. Thanks to Zven. No kills picked up. No rupture gonna land either. And the TP to re-engage. Broken Blade is healthy. And this could be the death knell right now. Pushing forward. Not gonna find the kill just yet, but triple inhib. Baron still on for 5 seconds. On to the Nexus turrets. Not gonna go in just yet, but this is certainly gonna be the end game. Whoa. But you have to believe Phoenix puts in some attacks, but the minions are still there. Lots of gold in the pockets. Will it be the push in? Now towards Solo Pop. Stoneplate flashed away. Stays alive just barely, but the health bars are still low, and the new wave is here. They're gonna knock down the second turret as well, and TSM faster than it went in game 1. Looking to close down on the game 2 right here. Looking to tie up the series as the final fight commences. At some point, they've got to do battle. Nexus takes a shot from the Nexus as well. We're waiting for the front line on a Solo. Looking now into Phoenix. There goes Bjergsen self-ult. They push him all the way back, and nothing's going to stop TSM. The dunk won't matter. The feast enough on a Smoothie, but supports don't win games. The Nexus does, and TSM ties it up.
Echo Fox take game number 1. TSM strikes back in game number 2 with some adjustments. Akaadian on an early game, super powerful jungler here in Rek'Sai, also focusing more to the bottom side of the map, plays through Bjergsen, plays through Dragon Control with the Kalista change and Champion Select. Really like to see the adaptation here in a best-of-5 series. This is what playoffs is all about.
It's the adaptation. It was what TSM was working towards on the back half of the split. Can we play early game better? Well, they got aggressive picks all over the place. Rek'Sai, probably queen of the early game jungle. Kalista, you know, supposed to win that bot lane as well. And that game was just broken open. 5,000 gold by the time Baron even spawned. And they had control from the rest of it. It ended 18-3 in kills. TSM never let up.
Yeah, it was definitely a very, very big change. I'm excited to see the development continuing, and what will Echo Fox push forward with, because people were concerned coming into this. Maybe too much of their success were on later game scaling. I wonder if they're going to go with the arms race in the early game, though, and throw down once again.
We'll see what happens. Akaadian had the better of the jungle matchup by far in this one, and for more on how TSM picked up a win of their own, let's send it down to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you, gentlemen. What a contrast from game 1 to game 2. TSM striking back to even it up. Series score now 1-1. Gentlemen, how'd they do it?
They went all out early game. Rek'Sai on Akaadian looks so much better.
I think he heard us talking crap, you know?
He was mad.
He was mad, and he showed it.
I mean, we were saying, listen, if we played bad second game, we're going to start flaming. He did not do that. He definitely delivered. And Rush, he's making a lot of silly mistakes. Game 1, while he was keeping up with the objective game, he had a lot of mishaps. Game 2, the same thing happened, but this time he got punished way harder.
Right.
It was a really interesting deviation. Bjergsen's still early picking his champion. He's kind of taking the bullet for the team, saying, whatever, I'll deal with Phoenix as long as we get good matchups in the side lanes. And this time around, they also had to blind the Vladimir, but that turned out pretty well because it's up against a tank matchup. It wasn't carry versus carry. And then the all-important last pick, Kalista, solidified that they had those 2 strong solo lanes for this Lissandra pick to go and try and influence.
Right, and like a pretty big a large difference of why Akaadian was able to do so well this game compared to last game was because he had winning lanes this game. The previous game, Rush had like 3 winning lanes on his side and in his favor, and he was able to control the map. This time around, Akaadian actually has winning lanes that he can play off, and actually make plays. So this is where he comes in hot and is like, all right, this game is now mine.
Absolutely gave Akaadian agency to get things done in the early game. Speaking of the early game, that was TSM's focus throughout this split. It's what they talked about wanting to improve upon, and they showcased it here.
I mean, Rek'Sai is just as good as Jarvan early game, and she does scale a little bit better. She's a little easier to engage in these fights, especially when your composition has these champions that want to be in the front line alongside you. And this dragon fight just showed that. The Jarvan has to face check. He doesn't have any way out. And the second that these lanes start getting ahead, it just compounds itself over and over. This is how it can outplay the Jarvan, by the way. You can interrupt the knockup as soon as it happens, and then you can follow through with your ultimate. How is that not busted?
Yeah, Akaadian
I mean, it's definitely not.
It's not broken, but it's...
Rek'Sai is really good.
Rek'Sai's really
very
good,
strong.
and Akaadian was given the smackdown, and there was a lot of fighting around the bot side of the map where maybe Echo Fox should have tried to back off initially, but then you see after that like one mistake around Dragon fight, all of these are brute force plays by TSM where they're super well coordinated, and that's what they spent so much of their season focused on. They want to have these really aggressive playstyles, and you still have Broken Blade on a carry, but it's not like this, like you were saying before, hyper-scaling, hard-countered, campus lane, Jax pick.
But I think they spotted what the lemon was in this series, which is the Jarvan. Last time it was the Lissandra. Everyone that picks it is kind of losing. I think the Jarvan in this series is just the dud. Just forget about Jarvan. Don't worry about it. The execution has to be so precise every single time. And if the lanes are playing too safe, you're just never going to find a good gank, and you're always going to fall behind in the farm.
It's intriguing because that was the champion Rush found success on when he came back into the lineup. But if it's not there today and the adjustments have been made to nullify the pick, then that's just the case. But let's talk about Akaadian, because night and day differences in performance between game 1 and 2. So I just want to isolate him as he is in his first playoffs ever. Just like we talked about Viper yesterday, you know, kind of falling down a bit in game 1, but then recovering throughout the series to end up putting carry performances forward in games 4 and 5.
I mean, we have to put context into the kind of player that Akaadian is. When he first joined the leagues, he was a Rengar player. This guy goes for damage-dealing champions. And when you join TSM, oh, yeah, the joke is he's a Sejuani main. Now, by the way, no one wants to be a Sejuani main. So the fact that he's now returning to his roots, a little bit more of those damage dealers with the Kindred, with the Rek'Sai, I think is a much better fit. And he's just so lucky to have a mid laner like Bjergsen that can take the blow for the team, taking the first pick early and providing the utility that he needs to play these carry junglers.
I'm going to say, I wouldn't count Jarvan just out yet. This game, he lacked a Galio with him, and they kind of got beat up early in the game, right? And then in the first game, the Jarvan Galio is a strong combo. It's just poor communication between the two to make the combo effective. So I'm not going to say you shouldn't pick Jarvan.
So it's not of the combo. It's like, look at how they're playing it, though. They're both just fumbling left, right, and center. The engages
but that could be like nerves and pressure,
Well,
right?
I also think it's kind of
Happens
like what's helping, because in the first game, Akaadian was the sole initiation threat, and he's the rookie on the team, really. I mean, Broken Blade probably has, you know, about equal experience given his time in the Turkish league. So this was, now it's, Bjergsen has a lot of the initiation power, and Zven can start the fight with this, and it's not so much on the Rek'Sai. It's just like you have a good early game, and then the rest of our team is all dive as well. So I think if you are going to take the Jarvan and give it to Akaadian, maybe give him a little bit of backup from other positions.
Doesn't that mean they just don't know how to draft around Jarvan or play around Jarvan, which should mean you just don't play it?
Well, I don't think drafting
Possibly.
3 losing lanes and no other engage is a bad Jarvan pick.
I was going to say, I just would wonder whether or not you can condemn them to that off of a singular draft and game, right? I mean, maybe in that game they didn't draft to, you know, the win conditions of a Jarvan or give him the proper support, but could they not make those adjustments in future drafts to lend to
It's
more
just how the
support?
champion works in playoff games. If people start playing a little bit safer and you can't find those avenues to gank, you are always going to fall behind. The champion does not farm fast.
Well, Rek'Sai's not a champion necessarily scales either, right? You're going to compare a Jarvan late game to a Rek'Sai late game?
Rek'Sai, true, she goes conquer, you do the true damage, your true bite burns, and you can always go on the carry with
that's
an
only
execution move. I'm telling you, Rek'Sai's sick.
But that's only from ahead. If you fall behind, you're just a squishy champion with no good engage.
It's really hard to
Jarvan.
fall behind on Rek'Sai.
I think plenty of people do it.
I think moving forward,
Yeah.
obviously there's mistakes happened with those champions. I think they're still both viable. I'd like to see more Jarvan, and specifically with that game, they picked a Jarvan with 2 really strong scaling mid laners, but forced a lot of fights. They forced Rifthold, they forced the Dragons. If you have a Corki, Jinx, and you're against a super strong early game, just give the objectives.
Yeah, that was the problem. That one Dragon fight that they took, as well as the fact that Akaadian did play well, the flash kill onto Phoenix, where he could have lived if he flashed a little earlier. I think there's a lot of things Echo Fox can clean up. And I'm really looking forward to see what they do.
Hey, both teams have picked up a win. TSM will remain on red side, so we'll see whether or not they make any draft adjustments or continue to use those counter picks to draft strong lanes and give Akaadian more agency in our third game of the day. TSM struck back in game 2. We'll see how Echo Fox answers in game 3 after the break.